There are many forgotten maps from many different games out there, but Counter-Strike 1.6 is home to some of the most iconic maps ever. It all started with Half-Life. Half-Life's modding community made Counter-Strike as a mod that later developed into its final form, which is Counter-Strike 1.6. With all of this came the introduction of iconic maps like Dust, Mirage, Nuke, and many others. In 2000, Valve took over the rights to Counter-Strike and the mod's original developers. It's now 2023, and Counter-Strike 2 is already being played by many people with beta access, and yet over half of the maps included with Counter-Strike 2 originally come from Counter-Strike 1.6, which is a game from 2003. Although Counter-Strike 2 uses these maps, they are of course remade for the new Source 2 engine, as well as having minor changes and alterations, but are otherwise completely based on their original map designs, which are up to 24 years old. Here is how the original Dust 2 looked in 1999. And here is what it looks like in the most recent Counter-Strike 2 beta. Thank you to YouTuber Sparkles for this footage. I obviously don't have beta access, so I'm grateful for Sparkles posting up that gameplay. Many of these maps actually predate 1.6 and started with the original beta that began in 1999. Those maps would include Dust, Train, Nuke, Inferno, Italy, Vertigo, and Office. Most of these maps will be well known to those that have played any version of Counter-Strike, since for the most part Counter-Strike 1.6, Source, and Global Offensive all shared the same maps but updated for their respective engines. Speaking of engines, Counter-Strike 1.6 runs on the Gold Source engine, while both Counter-Strike Source and Global Offensive run on the Source engine. Counter-Strike 2, however, now runs on the new Source 2 engine that was first announced in 2015, which means this is the first time we're seeing a new game engine in Counter-Strike since Counter-Strike Source's release in 2004. In Counter-Strike, you have 7 main map types. Here's a small list of them. The most common of them are DE, which are bomb defusal maps, and CS maps, which are hostage rescue maps. Bomb defusal maps are quite simple. You have terrorists that have a main objective of planting a bomb at one of the 2 bomb sites, and the counter-terrorist must stop the bomb from being detonated by either eliminating all the terrorists or defusing the bomb after it's been planted. Hostage rescue maps are also pretty simple. The terrorist team has hostages that the CT team must attempt to save. The CT team must save at least half of the hostages or eliminate all the players on the terrorist team to win. When you first bought and played Counter-Strike, there were a bunch of maps that come with the game. They are called official maps, but as you play on more servers, you'll notice that there are custom community-made maps that are used for different community-created game modes, and many even using the typical defuse or hostage style scenarios. With community-made maps, you had things as cool as surf maps, jailbreak maps, and even zombie maps. You could get these community-made maps either from a website like Game Banana or from simply joining a server that was already using community-made maps, as the server would automatically force your client to download the map prior to entering the server. It's worth noting, most of the current official maps were at one point just a community-made map, and even these custom maps use map prefixes to specify what kind of map they are. For example, a map that has a name starting off with surf underscore is going to be a surfing map, while a JB underscore is a jailbreak map. Counter-Strike was one of the first FPS games to praise community-made maps, and even include them in as official maps. I mean, after all, Counter-Strike originally started out as a mod to Half-Life, so when you think about it, Counter-Strike as a game was born out of the modding community just getting together and bringing their talent.